Good morning. Day 3 of my adventures. I think we're gonna go out to the front yard today. Look around the what I'm growing out there. Good morning. Day 3 of my adventures. I think we're gonna go out to the front yard today. Look around the what I'm growing out there. And I wanted to say thank you to whoever subscribed. You have your options blocked, so I can't send you an email and say thanks. Thanks, and stick around, see what happens. Lots more to come. So I'll give you a tour of the front yard of what I have growing out here. What you're seeing now is a chocolate mint plant. I bought it from Home Depot this spring, or just a little after spring actually, just before summer. And it's almost touching the ground. I've been feeding it aerated compost tea, and all the plants that I have, except one, has worm castings in it. Next we'll go to the coneflower, or as other people call it, echinacea. I'll zoom in close on that. And it has one little tiny bud which I'm waiting for to blossom right where my finger is. And I don't think it will, at least this year. That's been like that for a couple months now. Then I'll pan over to my tomatoes. Nice and healthy. And down here I'll show you what I'm doing. Under here, if you look right there, is the worms are living off the coffee grounds and the newspaper in the container. So as they're living off the microbes and eating those, they're producing castings in the barrel itself on the container. Come over this way, and this is one of my tobacco plants. This is the oldest, and it's basically done flowering. And that's what the pods look like after they're done flowering. They turn brown, and that's where all the seeds are. And I have a second tomato plant over here, trying to do the same with the newspaper on the bottom. I've got about 3 huge tomatoes down here. And in the tobacco container, I have cardboard as I'm feeding the worms with that. And out to the yard here, show you my pumpkins first. With all the rain that we've been having, they've been growing a lot. The vines have been growing. And that's one pumpkin here. And this thing just keeps growing down the sidewalk here. And back of here, somewhere over there, there's a cantaloupe plant. I've had 2 cantaloupes already this year, small ones. If you look on the rock there, there's a little small pumpkin just starting. Right there. And then there's various other pumpkins in here. This one, probably another one down below here. There's only, this is the first one that I had. And it's starting to turn color. This one just came out the other day from all the rain that we've been having. And over here is some other plant which hasn't done anything. I'm guessing it's pumpkin, some other different type of pumpkin. Over here is more tobacco. And as you can see up here, right here, the pod and then the flower. And as I showed you the other one, these little pods will turn brown, and that's where the seeds come from. And this is just a sucker that comes off of the plant, just like a tomato would. So if I pulled this off earlier this year, that would produce another plant. And this is the second one. Both of these were in the same pot when I planted it out here. And this one here is a new sucker. And back here, that's a new one I just didn't even see the other day. So that's a new sucker also coming off the plant. Over here is another cantaloupe plant. And down here is the cantaloupe. Hopefully that gets bigger before fall comes. And this thing's huge. That's my foot. That's a size 11 boot. And you can see how big this dandelion is being fed off of the compost tea. I still have to back up to get the whole thing in it. Next to this is a rose bush. This is all new growth this year from compost tea and some worm castings. This branch here and that branch here were the only two branches with no growth this past year. And this year you can see how much growth there is on that. Over here is the experiment plant, I call it. This tobacco plant didn't have any worm castings at all. It's been getting fed compost tea, but no worm castings. So you can see the lighter green shade of the plant. So worm castings do help out a lot. The plant here on the left is the sucker that came off the main plant, and it will be producing seed pods and flowering probably within the next few weeks. And down below I'm doing the cardboard, feeding the worms and feeding the plant. Next is 2 more tobacco plants with a bunch of suckers. This plant sticking on the bottom, this sucker here, was not there the other day. That's how fast the thing grew out. It grew out from the bottom, did a 90, and came back up. That wasn't there. That's new to me today, and as your plant grows, the bottom leaves, like this one, get a good angle here, can be taken off. And that will help the plant grow. You don't need the bottom leaves actually. They just yellow out. And they don't do anything really. And this is another sucker. These pods here are before. Basically, that's the closest I have, or one of them, to where the flower comes out. So the pods come up in the middle, and then it flowers out. Then it has a bunch of suckers and a bunch of seed pods throughout the whole plant here. Then the other plant here, and there's another seed pods with 1 flower. And another sucker in behind there. That wasn't there a few weeks ago. So 2 new suckers I haven't even seen. And I was out here watering yesterday. So that's the tour of what I have growing out in the front yard. And while I'm doing a plant tour, I'll give you a look at the aloe vera plant I have on the back porch. Whoops. These 2 came when I bought it, and they've grown some. And I've even plucked off the sides here. Not sure how to transplant that out when I do. We'll come up to the plant itself. You can see how huge this thing is. It just gets fed compost tea for right now until I transplant it, which I might do next spring. And my Christmas cactus. My Christmas cactus has leafed out 2 to 3 times already this year. The lady I bought it from said that it's never flowered. Well, we'll have to see this winter, at least winter. I'm not too sure what type of cactus it is. They say it's a Christmas cactus, but I found out there's 4 different varieties of cactus, and it could be an Easter cactus, which it didn't flower out Easter time. Could be a Thanksgiving Day cactus, or a Christmas cactus. But yeah, I kept seeing baby leaves, and right now there's one right there. Let me see if I can zoom in enough. Right, that's a baby leaf right there. So it's good and healthy. I water these once a month with compost tea, and that's all I need. It doesn't seem like it needs more water than that. So that's the couple plants I have in the back porch right now, until I put more out here. So after the tour of the front yard, I've been trying to learn some more about Sony Vegas Pro, of how to edit. I uploaded the tour of the front yard to my other channel, I think it came out decent. I mean, for what it was. And trying to learn some more stuff in that program, how to move clips, how to trim a little bit, but you know, I just do one takes so far. You know, you get what you get. Went out back and bailed out some water out of the well, because I use well water for all my plants out front. So I've got a baling bucket I made up of PVC pipe. So I bring about 25 gallons of water up today, and that'll last about 3 days. Went out, then watered the plants out front. Came back and been catching up on some vlogs right now, and that's been about it. You know, I need to learn some more about Sony Vegas Pro, of how to use it. And slowly and surely, you know, I'll get it.